Hello everyone. So earlier we talked about how we write the first controller, and we did show about how the MongoDB works, and also how we're able to make requests through Postman. So if you go to Postman and see this is there, this is the endpoint that we wrote, get applicants, right? So if you see get applicants, that's there. So currently if I make a request here, obviously it is not going to show because my local host is down. So let's go ahead and start that first. Before going through that, why don't we just go ahead and write some additional things. So here, if you see, this is the list of the job applicant type. So if I do this, it is going to return me all the lists. So that's let's make this more concise. So let's make one another. So here, just like anything that you write in a Java method, right, you're able to parameterize. We can do the same thing here too. So I'm going to make this. So here, what you do is you have this curly braces. If you put that there, then it will take that as a variable. That's the place where you can pass the variable in. So I'm going to just pass that as an ID. Here, if I do that, so it will be path variable, capital path. Path variable is the annotation that will identify that the given argument is the parameterized value. So string ID is integer. Earlier we defined, so integer ID. Right? So we're going to use this here, and only one line you need to write. And now here what you need to do is dot find by ID. This is already given from Mongo's this Java application service that we built. So here all you need is just clear that ID. So here this ID is there. Now this is going to be parameterized. So how the URL of this one would look like is in order to make this, you'll be writing and whatever number ID you want. So 1, 2, 3, example like that. This is how your endpoint is going to build. And this last value is variable, but all other values should be like consistent. This one can be changed, but you have to pass the number value. If you pass like a string, because see here it's an integer type, it has to be a numeric value, right? So based on that, it is going to take care of here. So here, in order to make this happen, this return type needs to be changed to because that is what this find by ID is built upon, right? Optional, and the type would still be the your class, right? So let's import that with the util optional. So here we're done here this side. Okay, that is that done here. So let's go ahead and visit one more time here the job applicant this class. So we need to define one here called integer. Back again, one more step. So here now we'll be able to use this, but there's nothing right now. So if you go to let's start that server first, and then we'll see. So here, like I said, right click, run as a Springboot app. It's going to just run in like a minute. It's pretty fast. So right now, if you see here, these are the tables that's made, but there are no data. So we want the data to be passed from. So if you see this table is empty, it is not like this table, right? So job applicant is our table. So we want to fill up the data here. We'll do that. So we see that server's up right now. If I go to a browser and try to get localhost 9090. Going to show empty, which is okay, but it's still 200, otherwise you're going to get error. And then now I can also pass value. Obviously it is going to show null because there's no value in the MongoDB database. We'll get the value there once we add it. So that is all we're doing there. So in order to add the value there, we need to add one more thing called post mapping, right? So that then with this these endpoints will look not there. This endpoints will be more kind of efficient. You'll be able to actually see what's happening, right? So let's go ahead and write those also. So for that, Here in order to do the post is basically making updates to the endpoints. So here all I need is this piece, and then I'm gonna say this add applicant. I'm not adding two, we're just adding one at a time. So here, so we also want to return something as we did it, so let's add that same job type. So here add applicant right here. There, instead of making like an ID here, we have to pass the what we want to add. So here, in order to add, you have to add this whole thing, right? You have to add this entire object so that you can see these changes. So for example, if you see that same form, right, where you have to submit all these things, and when you hit the submit, your entire input should be saved. So these are saved into this structure, right? So we have to add values for each one of this. So here what we want to do is we just want to pass this whole object, so it will automatically carry this each one of these items. So for that, we're going to do here, it's called request body. This is also annotation, request body, right? And then you're gonna be like a job. So this is the variable, right? So let's go ahead and import whatever it requires. So here it is obviously going to ask you some return because that's what we wanted. So before adding that, what I want is I want to use the same value, right? But instead of adding that, I'm going to do the save. See, this is already given for us, right? Job applicant, whatever you are passing into this post request is what we want to save. We don't have any validation here yet, so if anything fails for some reason, like your values are invalid input, we don't really care because they're all string, and we're just we just want to make the simple story here. So now once I save, I want to also validate that the value that I'm passing is correct value, right? So here I need to do dot find by ID, right? So here what I want is whatever ID is being passed from this object is what I'm going to pass. Get ID. So what happens? This object is being pulled from the MongoDB database. So whatever so basically what it is doing is you are passing this object to your post request, and from the post request it is going to find whatever ID is part of this object. It is going to pass that ID within the MongoDB database. This is being accessed from MongoDB, right? And then it is saying whatever ID is here, that should return me something. That is my value. Okay. So I think this is going to pretty much let us add data, retrieve the data based on this ID also, and then we can also now see the data here, and we will move on to MongoDB base. There are no params here in this case, right? In this case, we are actually passing the body. We will see how to add those. So it is called add applicant. You have to match this, and this one the host URL portion. So we'll keep that as well. So I'm going to save this now, and then let me go ahead and restart. Every time you make any changes, your server has to be restarted. Otherwise, your changes do not reflect. But to stop it, if I don't stop and if I try to restart again, it will fail because it will say the earlier port is still there. So let me also give you a quick note here how the ports are determined, how I'm giving this 99. There will be always the application properties. Here you'd be able to pass this whatever port you want. And then these are the MongoDB database stuff that we want. So Mongo's port and host. And this is the reservation is what you see in the MongoDB, right? This reservation. Inside the reservation, all my table resides. So job applicant right now, you see nothing. Let's go ahead and see some change here. So I think my server is, okay, it's closed. Let's start it again. Run as Springboot app. Okay, it is started, so application is started now. If I want to go ahead and open the browser now, it's up. If I pass it hello world, it will bring me hello. Here this is the ID, right? So let's go ahead and go through some Postman call, so where we want to add this data. So without making any, somewhere you have to make this API call, right? So these ones Postman will help us, or we're gonna do this with the automation test also, but that's our kind of last videos. Keep those for now. Let's go with the Postman. I'm going to add this right now. If I hit the get applicants, I see nothing, servers up, otherwise you will see the error message. So if I do get applicant and I want to pass 1 2 3 whatever number, there's no data, no, right? So now if I do want to add the value, I would do the post. So in the post I don't need this, so instead I have to do add applicants, like I said, that endpoints. For header we need to have a content type application JSON, because that's what we're passing. For the body we don't have anything, so let's make that body. So body is, we have to match against whatever job applicants is, because that is what we try to save here. If you see here, job applicant is your parameter, you have to pass that. So let's go back and then add whatever value we want here. We just go ahead and copy this. Let's go to Postman. For now I'm just going to keep this here. So let's go ahead and start filling the value. So you have to be in the JSON format, so it has to be matching against however they look like too. So ID, right, and then JSON format would be, this is the integer, so it has to be number. So I'm going to just say 23, 43, 45. So obviously they are comma separated. Now next one is the first name. First name could be, what do you want? Just Bob. Last name. Date of birth, again it has to match the cases, right? So date of birth could be, this is a string here for now, March 15, 19, 60. So address, somewhere in LA. Phone number, that's also a string for now. And last one is highest level of education I'm passing. This is job application. Obviously I'm not much worried about the data type here. And then last one you don't pass the comma. So comma is only the one before. So I'm going to show you one quick thing to validate before you make any request. Right? Before you make any request, there's a online check. You can make this, paste it there. It's called JSON lint. It is just going to, then you click the validate JSON and it is going to validate if this is invalid. So for example, if you have one thing missing, it will show you that what's missing. So this is very helpful. So keep this handy, you'll need this often. Let's go back into the Postman. So we pretty much filled up all of the values that we wanted. And now I think we're pretty much done here. Add applicants, make sure this is ready. Headers, we're just adding content type. Body, we just added the values what we want, and then send it. Okay, so what this means that, let's go back and check again. So here what this means, it did not recognize your endpoint. So let's say what I'm passing, so add applicants. Let's go back here. So when we go to the controller and see, okay, it is saying add applicant. So here what I'm saying, I'm passing as, that's why it is happening. So I'm just gonna keep up with this. This looks more grammatically correct, because we're only passing one object at a time. So let's go ahead and make that change here too. So it is going to be applicant. Now if I pass this value, it is going to first make sure it is saved, then it will go to MongoDB and it will pull the value for this ID. Okay, now if I want to go through this ID, I can also pass the same ID with the get URL. Get URL, you have to make these changes here, right? So get applicants, actually that was the S, and then you just pass the same ID that was earlier added. You send this in, you get the same value. Now because we only have one value, we can actually just remove this whole thing, send this again. Now if I want to do this a post call, because I have a body, right, and then instead of that I'll just add applicant again, and then I'm going to add more data here. Okay. So this is going to be like that. So I'm just adding additional data. Now if we want to go ahead and check this, so that is get applicant. It's going to show you more data here. Okay, what happened again? Get applicant. What was that? Let's go back to check that. What was that? Get applicants. Okay. Get applicants. I think that was correct. Oh, because that was that URL, and here it is going through post, right? So we should make sure that we are matching that cases. So here it is returning all three values. Now if I want to just pass one ID specifically, it will just go through that ID only. So it will only show you one result. So this is pretty much how the Postman would work. So let's go ahead and do some other checks into MongoDB. So here if you come here to reservation job applicant, you see the data is already up to date here, right? So that is all what I wanted to show you in this video. So we added the data, we're able to populate the data. We see the values are being populated from the Postman. So API calls. So we get to get URLs and then post. So obviously we're going to simulate this through without the Postman, right? When you go to Postman, you see this all, but without the Postman, we're also going to simulate this all. But for now, let's keep up with this. And then in the automation we are going to cover those, how we can do without the Postman through automation test. So obviously they are very useful tools, so please do follow my additional video. I'm going to add more stuff. We're going to add how to delete the data, and it is going to be more interesting. So obviously as a user point, if you look into any web browser, you're able to add the data, you're able to delete your profile, you're changing, right? You're all stuffs under whatever is under your control, or act like if admin is logged in and they wanted to cancel some account, they have to do that. So in backend, these actions has to be satisfied just like this controllers are doing for us. Okay, I hope this video has been helpful for you to understand furthermore on this REST API controllers, and please do follow me, subscribe my channels, and we'll look forward to add more videos in the future. Thank you very much for watching.